Hey, it's not too late if you're looking for one last side dish to add a little pizzazz to your Thanksgiving dinner. Colombe Jacobsen, editorial contributor and cooking expert for Recipe.com, is here. She's going to show us how to make an easy and delicious chestnut stuffing. I've got to sidetrack us for a quick moment because it doesn't matter how many things you put on the table and how good they are. If the turkey's not good, you will be sad about your Thanksgiving dinner. So how can we, just a quick tip on a moist, yummy turkey.
Super simple. Don't get complicated. Stick it in the oven. The most important thing is that you roast it on a really low oven temperature. So relatively, 325.
Right.
So that way...
So you want to roast it longer at a lower temperature.
Exactly. And you basically start without covering it, and then once it gets to nice crispy brown golden that you like on top, then you cover it. And what you want to just be careful of is that you're not going to overcook it. So you want to use a thermometer. That's super important.
Yeah, and we talked about this earlier. You said the little popper things are okay, but a thermometer is the way to be sure.
It's like your insurance, right? You can really use it and make sure that the poppers telling you the truth. Are doing their job.
Exactly.
Okay. So the other thing is that almost every turkey nowadays comes with a little cheat sheet on the bag or on a tag. So you can always look at that to see how long your turkey, however many pounds it is, needs to be cooked.
Okay, but what we're going to do with that turkey is we're going to stuff it full of
because every turkey
stuffing.
needs a stuffing,
it
right?
Does. So this is a chestnut stuffing.
It's a chestnut stuffing, so you get a nice nutty flavor and texture from the chestnuts.
Okay.
And I just love chestnuts. I'm a sucker for chestnuts. So here are onions with some garlic. And this chestnut stuffing recipe does have a few ingredients. So I like to come up with shortcuts for this one. And one of the things is that you can buy pre-sliced mushrooms at the grocery store.
Easy to do, those little baskets of them. Exactly.
So I'm going to go ahead and toss those into the onion and garlic mixture and just let them saute for a few more minutes. And then while that's happening, we're going to go over to our bread. So most every stuffing uses bread. Now,
and kind of staley bread, kind of like day old.
Staley bread is better, right? But day old. So it's still fresh baked.
Not with mold growing on it, but day old. Yeah, I got you.
And it's a great way to save money as well if you buy bread that's already been day old at the bakery.
Yep.
So start with that, and this is a mix of whole grain bread as well as white bread. And then to that I'm going to add my Italian sweet sausage.
Ooh, yummy.
My chestnuts, which I've bought pre-jarred, and they're pre-cooked, so you don't have to go through the hassle of roasting them.
So this is a big time saver on a day when you're really trying to save time in the kitchen.
So you crumble them in the bowl and go ahead and pour them in.
Okay.
And then I've got a lot of herbs. I've got thyme, sage, and parsley, which I love.
Good.
Really herbaceous for the stuffing there.
I'm going to go home after this and use that word with my wife.
It's a great word.
Very herbaceous stuffing, honey.
And then I've got some dried cranberries for a little sweetness. And then we'll go ahead and add our salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
Toss that around.
Okay, stir it all up.
And then I have some egg that I've whisked with some chicken stock. Now, this is a great way to add a little bit more moistness to your stuffing.
I was going to say, why the chicken stock? Is that just for the flavor and the moistness? Okay.
Exactly. So go ahead and pour that in. And then by now, we're ready for our mushrooms almost. Let's give them a little turn in the pan. And the thing about stuffing is that, I love the crispy texture on top of the stuffing. And when you stuff your bird, only the part that's exposed at the tail end of the bird gets
anatomically
crispy,
correct, yes.
right?
Yeah.
So I always like to save a little on the side and then pop it in the oven and bake it uncovered,
so you get your crunchy
so you get a nice crunch. Yeah. So there's that, and then also, a lot of people are concerned with stuffing their bird and, the safety hazards of not bringing it to temperature and cross-contamination and all that. So if you start with already heated stuffing, then you don't have to worry about that. It also helps to prevent the bird from drying out. So you
which is the key that we were talking about, keeping the bird moist in the oven.
Yeah. So the stuffing is really also a really nice complement to the turkey because the turkey's, relatively plain. It's got a delicious taste, but it really, stands with all, exactly.
That's when it gets good.
All of the other things are so important to complement the
definitely
turkey.
Safety first there with the oven mitt. We're going to put they go right into the pan here?
Right into
mushrooms
the pan.
and a little bit of garlic, onion, and mushrooms right in there. Oh, yeah.
Yum.
That
and
is
smells,
just too good.
The aromas.
It does. It smells great. And I mix this up?
Yes. Go right ahead. And so either you stuff it right into your turkey, or you can bake it in a pre-greased baking pan.
Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and toss that in there so we can pop it in the oven, and you can get a little preview.
And the pre-bake helps take out any concern about cross-contamination or things like that.
And you've got the wonderful texture from the chestnuts.
Boy, look at that.
And the mushrooms and the cranberries.
And when we're all done,
and this is what you end up with.
We look at this. Now, I've already called dibs on this. The crew was fighting over it. But this is going home, and we're having it for dinner time. But this is great. So in the oven or inside the bird. Thank you very much, and have a great Thanksgiving.
You too. Happy Thanksgiving.
By the way, you can get this recipe or up to 20,000 different recipes at recipe.com, or you can pick up a copy of the magazine, which is in stores now. You can also get shopping on the go with the recipe.com app. It's at the iTunes store. And, of course, you can find this dish on bettertv.com. Got to get a fork. Dig it in. Actually, no, I got to take it home. My wife will kill me if I don't bring it home. Look at that. Oh, I lost your cranberry.